Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are on Tuesday, November 7th. We're going to take a look at Hood today. So with earnings coming up, I thought we would come in and see any levels, trend lines, TTM squeeze indicator, that sort of thing that might sort of let us see where it's going to go as it takes motion based off of the response to the earnings call. So goal here is basically, hey, here's some support, some resistance levels. So if it booms, if it busts, and if it goes sideways. So as far as those levels are concerned, if it does break downward, we do have this uptrend support that's been holding relatively nicely recently. It kicked off basically moving off of this about 5 days in a row. Relatively recently, so it hasn't done a strong retest yet like it would. It has some distance from it now, and so if it comes down, basically it would have to provide support against the bearish momentum that's pulling that price action down. That's really the stronger test, in my opinion, versus sort of the climb up like this. But we'll see how that reacts if it does move downward based off of earnings. If it comes through here, I would see potential support at 930, 891, and 870. Now, if it wants to move sideways, it will still eventually run into that, even on the daily. And so we could see again if that helps lift it up or what it does at that point. If it does decide to move upward, 1002 is the level that I have in. It's probably just sort of like that $10-ish battle, right? That psychological level of $10. So anything stretching from like, say, about 985 up through probably about 1005 or so, somewhere in there. There's probably going to be a pretty strong battle for psychological dominance as it pertains to the price of the stock. So I'll be looking at that range as well if it starts to move up, and then if it does get through there, 1020 would be a next level up. And I won't put it in just yet as to not clog the chart, but somewhere around 1050 here, which is obviously another psychological-ish level, but it does have strong support and resistance tied to it in relatively recent price action. But again, as to not super clutter the chart, I'm going to leave those off for now. But to me, the most important thing is that uptrend support. And who knows, it could get some pretty significant distance from that if it does have a strong positive reaction to the earnings. Now, if we go ahead and hide these for a moment, we can check in with our EMAs. So we do see if this continues to play out, for now at least, putting in a bullish crossover with the 8 crossing above the 21 EMA. And the price action is sitting right on the 34, so a really strong place to be sitting if it wants to be able to lift. And right now, the EMAs are looking like they want to cross over in that direction. Will that play out? I don't know. Obviously, earnings is such a strong catalyst that it could really throw any of these, perceived setups into question or completely wreck them based on a strong reaction the other direction. But if it does come down, these would be additional potential support levels at the 8 and 21. But it is nice to be seeing it sitting at the 34 at the moment. As far as the channel, it's just sort of getting support over that mid-range of the channel, upper bound of the channel sitting just above 10, right within that range we talked about, like 985 to 1005. And so if it does come to make a motion up there, how much resistance will it catch there? It will be able to move through the upper bound of the channel if it is a positive reaction to earnings. We'll have to kind of wait and see and sort of judge it at that time. TTM squeeze indicator, we see bearish momentum had picked up pretty significantly back here as it was trying to make these swings. Then it tried to die down and it picked up a little bit again. Now it is getting really close to the baseline. It might finish out today sort of just completely flat, sitting at the baseline. However, there isn't any trigger happening on the TTM squeeze indicator yet. So we won't necessarily see a trigger in a fire based off of this earnings call, probably, at least from what I can tell right now, but that might set it up for the near future. It hasn't had one in a little while. It was back here. It finished triggering and firing I guess about 2 months ago at this point. So it has been a little bit of time. So we'll see if, the motion off of earnings sort of plays into that at all when all is said and done. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week is going well. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.